Go Bucks, go Bucks.
2015 NFL Draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Jameis Winston.
Go Bucks. First and goal, we gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line of beast, might win the streak and have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucks ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB, you know it's routine. We got hard grease. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Tampa. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucks, go Bucks. You know we want the ring. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Tune in with Buccaneer Blake. Bucks back, we can run a toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss, and Jameis making play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucks, go Bucks.
Feel that. Can you feel that thing that's oozing out your doggone hand? That thing is beating your doggone chest right now.
About to do this live stream. Y'all check this out. All right. Just tuning in, getting set real quick before we go into our session real quick. Let me open up the laptop for you. Now, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back to the show, Buck and Blake Sports, with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. Hold on a second. We back. All right, we there? All right. Let me reintroduce myself. Welcome back to Buccaneer Blake Sports with your host, Buccaneer Blake, or Buck and Blake Sports with your host, Buccaneer Blake. Now, let's get into what happened on Sunday. That 27-7 loss. That shouldn't have been a beating. It should have just been a loss. But it turned out to be a beating because turnovers continue to plague this team. But let me get into basic stuff. Like I said before, Q&As will be at the end. And I'll go into all that other stuff later because you know how me, I like to ramble once I start getting things going. So here we go with today's show. Okay, Winston, we lost 27-7 in a home game. Another home loss that I had to sit through. Excruciating. At least the Broncos fan that was sitting next to me wasn't, patronizing me. They were fun. I think it was two gay females. She had her Von Miller stuff on, which I'm mad. I don't hate Von Miller. Von Miller is a decent guy. So enough with that. Winston 17 for 35, 179 yards, 1 rushing TD, no passing touchdowns. Actually, let's go on the year. Right now, he has 1,108 yards, 8 TDs, and 8 interceptions. We got to eliminate those because those interceptions are actually costing us games, and not just interceptions, turnovers as well. Period is killing us. What the buck exactly? Charles Sims 15 for 28. We'll get into that later. Jacquez Rogers 6 for 25. Cameron Brate 5 for 67. Mike Evans 5 for 59. Seaman, the quarterback. I said Seaman, didn't I? 5 for 7. 68 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown came off of the early interception, the first interception to Aqib Talib. And then Paxton Lynch 14 for 24, 170 yards and a touchdown. He had much better stats as he got more comfortable. Yes, Eric, I'll get the Q&As at the end, so hold. I'll let you know when Q&As is coming up. Buccaneers had total 60 yards in the second half. 60 yards in the second half. I actually got in an argument with my good buddy Andrew Deason. They kept trying to say the defense took a crap. I said, defense didn't take a crap. Offense took a crap, and it made the defense suffer. Both have to play well for both to succeed. I said defense held up brilliantly the first half when the offense was just lacking, and the defense, I'm gonna tell you why, because they got 4 sacks in the first half. Imagine had the offense been moving the ball, we'd have probably had even more. This team isn't the non-pressure team it used to be. It can't stay on the field and sustain that level of play from a lack of offense, going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And a defense, I think if you didn't pay attention in the third quarter, I said the Broncos had the ball with 6 or 7 minutes the first drive. Then we went 3 and out, and then put them back on the field another 5 minutes. You cannot amount of pass rush. I'm gonna tell you as a player, you cannot. I don't have the leg strength to push as hard as I should. To get sacks and make that extra effort to make plays when I'm constantly going over, and then you start beating you down with C.J. Anderson and stuff like that. It adds up. And like I said before, both sides have to work together to win games. Offense necessarily doesn't have to be rolling and putting up 300 yards a game. No, I'm not saying that. I said they have to sustain enough drive for these guys to get breaks on the D, go over what's working, what's not looking, and work it out. You don't have that time when you just go 3 and out or a pick and go straight back on the field. And Winston has to work on that as well, because I said it before, the will to win. Our quarterback has the will to win. I think Mike Evans has that will to win now. And there's a couple players that have the will to win. That's got to be the attitude here. I'm tired of being a Buccaneer fan. Tired of being a Buccaneer fan that's settling for mediocrity. You won the Falcons game. We act like we won the damn Super Bowl. If you ask me, I didn't get that excited when I want to beat the Falcons. I expected to beat the Falcons. I expected to be beat teams that we should be beating, just like the Broncos should have beat us. Like they expected when you didn't see them celebrating like they won the damn Super Bowl. They beat a team that they thought they should win. And I'm thinking that even as a team that that's been picking in the top 10 or top 15 the past couple of years, I expect to win games that I know we can win with certain matchups and a level of play that we were capable of playing at. And you could keep saying we could keep switching head coaches. I'm going to tell you, it's a culture thing. Cutter's got it right. It's a culture thing. In your head, at some point, you got to be tired of this shit. You have got to be tired of it. And at that point, when that point finally comes, is when you'll start winning. It's when you'll start being resilient. Is when you'll start finding ways to succeed instead of finding ways to lose. And that's not just football. That's in all things in life. At some point, it's going to snap. And that's when it's going to happen. We got it at our commander-in-chief at the quarterback position. He needs everybody else to follow suit. He needs to be consistent. I told you that the problem now is not we need to find this. We need to find that. We need to do this. We need to make a whole nother change. We need to change our jerseys. We need to get another OK so coordinator. It's not that anymore. It's consistency. That is the word now. Consistency. And you got to do that every day, every game, every practice, every play. It's got to be consistent. And everybody's got to be on the same place. Everybody's got to have the will to win. I told you I'll ramble. Let me get to my breaking point before I forget it. The breaking point in Sunday's game was the decision to pitch back to Jameis Winston on the 3rd and 1 around the 30-yard line. Now, originally, I badmouthed Charles Sims so badly that his ears probably bled for all the mean things I said about him. But it wasn't Charles Sims' decision. Well, yes, it was his decision. He decided to pitch it back. He didn't have to. Jameis Winston was telling him to pitch it to him. Again, Winston is trying. He's 22. So much pressure on everybody trying to force the franchise on him instead of letting things play out. That's why I kind of thought Lovie Smith was a kind of a good guy to groom him, because he won't put more on him than needed to be. He's trying to do too much because you guys are expecting all that out of him. You got to let this kid grow. I'm telling you, stop trying to push the envelope. Stop trying to be the Super Bowl team in 1 year. It doesn't work like that. I want to see it. I know the fans want to see it. I know everybody wants to see your team succeed. But it doesn't work like that. And these teams, like I said it from the beginning, these Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oakland Raiders, when you guys go forge up all these free agents and you think, yeah, it's going to win. It works in the NBA. It doesn't work in the NFL. Ask the Eagles. What would it say? The dream team the Eagles said it was? More like team nightmare? Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just won a game. They just barely won. He loaded up on these free agents. Hell, we were one of those teams that loaded up on free agents. It don't work. When you got to build through the draft, you got to fill holes with free agency when you need to fill holes. It's not build your team with free agents. And it doesn't work like that. And I think that we have to learn that too. Like, get our guys in there and get the right pieces in there. And I think we're getting the piece now with the GM and the coach. I think we do have the right guys. I was a little subjective to it at first, but I think we do have the right guys that is running our office now and running our head coach. I believe it now. And I have to set aside myself from Lovie Smith getting done wrong, which I'm not going to say that. I'm still going to say that it was right, but it wasn't the wrong decision for him, because we got the right guy in there, I think. And but the only things that I want to take back and reflect on is when Lovie Smith tried to let Jameis Winston learn his way up before trying to just force a guy into a franchise quarterback position and trying to change everything at his age, at a 22-year-old. And I'll say it by Dirk, when he was the offensive coordinator here, when Lovie was here, he took some shots at Lovie, saying that there's times where he called different plays on offense, which were bombs or plays that stretched the field. When actually Lovie called something more conservative, because he wanted to limit turnovers and limit scoring up and turnover opportunities for the opposing team to change momentum in a game. Which everybody wants to see, this deep ball. You can't do that all the time. You have to methodically work the ball up the field with run and pass game. And I think that's where one thing with Dirk Cutter might have to set aside himself as well, to learn. And when you're playing good teams with good secondary and a phenomenal pass rush that the Broncos had, there's things that we missed out on. I said, like being conservative in this game wouldn't have made us be a blowout. I think this game would have been like a 2-score game, a manageable game, had we not given up those 2 turnovers. We could have possibly maybe been in a chance to win the game. We not give up a turnover, but that's easy to say because that's every team's plan to not turn the ball over. But you have to learn to not do that. You have to learn as a coach and as a quarterback to take what's given to you. And I think that the conservativeness wasn't available because of the added pass protection. And I'll give it to him. There was plays where Von Miller was blocked up. I watched that whole matchup with Damar Dotson. It was a beautiful thing to watch Damar Dotson go to battle with Von Miller and hold his ground at 30 years old. I think we limited ourselves by putting our backs in the block so Cameron Brake can go out to catch passes and vice versa. And I think we should have gone another route here. I think Charles Sims should have been the X factor to this game. If you wanted to throw the ball and they wanted to send so many blitzes, they wanted to send so much man coverage, the ball should have been being checked down to Charles Sims and let him make the first guy miss and picking up an extra 7 to 10 yards and maybe a touchdown. I think that's where the ball should have went, since they want to roll so much coverage on Mike Evans. That's what I mean. When I'm saying conservative, that's what I mean. That's what I would have done in the coaching situation. Charles Sims, you may not be able to run the ball because their D-line was handling business in between them tackles. Let me tell you, there was no running lanes. And you should have made your run plays extended handoffs, old Andy Reid Philadelphia style, with small passes in the cracks or in the flats, and let people earn their paycheck. I talked about it. It's Ryan Switzer, Phil Landsman. Ryan Switzer, UNC. Look him up right now. Sorry, I told you Q&As will be at the end. I'll answer your comments. I'll scroll through and answer them. That should have been the X factor to this game, was Charles Sims, and coming out the backfield and catching screen passes, and that would have slowed down the pass rush. And you're still passing the ball, if whatever that means. I just care about winning. Whoever gets the ball, it doesn't matter. And screen passes slow down the pass rush. Now these guys are like, damn, the guy might come out the backfield on me while I'm pushing so hard upfield to get a sack. And this guy's picking up 10 to 15 yards a pop. We should have did that over and over. Give me a minute, Phil. I'll answer that. Over and over till they slow down the pass rush or changed up coverage. I'll do the same like they did against the Cardinals, run that little tunnel screen to make them come out of that D they were in. It's not Charles Sims either. Until they figured out to change the D to help open up other guys. I got over the breaking point, talking points. Today, like I said, I'm not going to really go into a whole lot because it was really frustrating for me to be up against an adversary opponent, and I think we got outcoached, we got outplayed. Guys forgot how to play. I don't say forgot how to play. You just didn't play to your ability that I know you can play at. You can play at this level, and it's frustrating for me to watch that. Being as a player and being as a guy that I guess you can call me a broadcaster of sports or whatever you want to call me, a blogger or whatever. It's frustrating to know that you can play at a level better than that against a third string quarterback. You know, I'm not even going to say the third string quarterback. He's going to do his job and wait for us to mess up and take advantage of where we messed up at. So it's again in a game where we gave away situations to turnovers to points. I don't care how many points we give up, honestly. I just want us to be competitive in games and make smart decisions. If we lose a game because we lost, the team made better plays than us, made more plays than us at the given points in time, I'm fine at that because that's part of the game. Hopefully we'll be on the other end of that sometimes, and we'll just go forward from that. But let me get back to the Q&As now. I'm going to scroll through you guys' messages down here, so if you got stuff you want to say, I'm going to answer it at this time. So I'm going to start with the top. Yes, Eric, turnovers is killing us. I told you it's back to the point where we're getting killed. We're killing ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot, and it's hurting us in the game. Turnovers are leaving the turnover points. The defense, their offense don't even have to work for it because we're giving it to them in situations. Sims is not every down back. Too much dancing. He don't hit the hole. He isn't a downhill runner to give or take, but he does. He likes to jab step to the side and then hit the hole. But that's not who he is. He's kind of an open field play. Charles Sims is a wide receiver in a running back's body, if that makes sense. If you watch his tape at West Virginia, he lined up wide receivers so many times, and he's a great route runner. He got great hands. His hands are enormous, like Odell Beckham's hands. They're great big hands. Offensive line was bad and good. There was times Winston had time to throw, and there wasn't they didn't have receivers downfield. As I told you guys the week before, we neglected the wide receiver position, and it's showing when when Winston has time to throw, and we play teams that have a good pass rush with a good secondary. You can't force the ball, and he's trying to force the ball in these windows. Chris Harris said it himself. Sorry guys, something came through. Chris Harris said it so himself. Winston doesn't care who's in coverage. He's going to try to put the ball to receivers and whoever, and try to get it in there. And I admire that. I think Winston's career is going to end up probably being like Brett Favre. Brett Favre, what he say? You can't say he wasn't trying. He throwing those picks. He will try. He will try to fit balls in windows. He will try all of that. And he will make great plays and all that, make great touchdown things. He's going to make some bonehead picks. I guess you can call him the Black Favre. Call him Black Favre. It's got a ring to it. Somebody must have used that before. Jameis Winston's career will be like Black Favre. He'll be the Black Brett Favre, I think. And that's fine with me as long as he can bring us home a Super Bowl in his career. And a bunch of winning seasons. Bad throws and turnovers and wide receivers can't get open. Yeah, that's it. Bad throws, turnovers, and wide receivers can't get over. Sums it up. Safeties are still suspects. Chris Conte is killing us. Chris Conte is killing us because he continues to make bad side adjustments and miss tackles in key situations. He's getting victimized. And I don't know if that's a confidence thing or it's a scheme thing or I don't know what it is, because he continues. Hold on. Let me wait for my stream to come back up. Wow. I said the live stream just went off. He continues to make Chris Conte makes bad plays. And I think hopefully he can pull out of it. Maybe that's just me talking as a Bucs fan, but I think he can. But thank you guys for watching as usual. Thank you always for everything you do. Let me end this as I always do. You're the master of everything what you do with your life. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys, and God bless.
coast. Yeah, yeah. Whoa. You already know it's good point. This Snoop boy scaring niggas like a Ouija board. Seeing is believing, honestly, I can't see you boys. Best to debate, I roll up and blow my verses away. They wanna know how I do it, they've been lurking for days. Still haven't figured a nigga out. Smoking out on the couch with real niggas, man, I feel like a scout. Cause all I do is draft bitches, train them up for you niggas. They come back every day and say they done with you niggas. I talk a lot of shit, but mean it in the best way. I don't fuck with you niggas, I read you like an x-ray. I can see a lot of bitch in you from your display. Watch the nuke drop from above versus DK. Your body like Miley Cyrus, my body's just zombie virus. Mind you, I'm just a pirate, smoking get high like pilots. Man, a couple grand, I bury them in the sand. Son of Saddam, I'm bombing on niggas like it's Iran. Swoosh, yeah. I feel like Nike gave me a deal. I'm on the road, just cruising like 4 wheels. I'm a flywheel made of indestructible steel. My power can't be controlled. I'm undertaking your soul. My chokehold sick like catching a cold. Got that medication, good weed, will redefine gravitation. OG, I take off with no hesitation. I'm stacking up while you hating. I'm looking women love me like fornication. I feel I'm real. I was on 22nd and late with the steel and some old. Saw the cops had to go. 40 seconds later, niggas rolled up, said you know. Snub nose to my dome, I was sweating the cold. Damn, I lost all my shit. My girl said get a grip, I lost all my grip. No hook, nigga, look, if you leave your shit, I'ma take what you left, my 16s or this. It don't take much just to get your chick to strip, but that's another story. Had her on them blues, now I call her Dory. I'm on the corner with a 40 in a new category, it's new. Blow up the city and rebuild it. TV fitted, you know I killed it. Saw the house, the shit just got real and we just filmed it.